Cai Xia, a professor at the Central Party School, whom is an expert in Marxism and Chinese Communist Party theory, has been kicked from the party for her direct distaste of party leader Xi Jinping. She has been living in America since last year and has called Xi Jinping a mafia boss. She claims the Chinese Communist Party is simply a political zombie. She rightfully so has been critical of Xi Jinping's authoritarian leadership and claims the party has ruined the country's reputation. To put things into perspective about how important this woman is, she was a professor at this training institution that has previously been led by Mao Zedong, Hu Jintao, and even Xi Jinping himself. Basically, this is a powerful and important woman within the Communist Party. Her being critical of Xi Jinping looks as a sign that Xi Jinping's power is waning among other Communist Party members, where no one dared to question him before. According to a Taiwan news report, Tai said she had been attacked for her remarks since 2011, and since leaving China, the Chinese Communist Party has been demanding for her to return. I wonder why. Why would it be that the Chinese Communist Party would want her to return? Could it be that they would like to ask her to come back and have some tea? I'm sure they just want to talk to her, right? The power of this woman is hilarious, because even after they canceled her retirement benefits and party membership, she says she is delighted about the expulsion and does not regret her defiance towards Xi Jinping and the Communist Party as a whole. This is what I've been talking about all along. This is what China needs. Someone that is willing to stand up and defy the party, especially Xi Jinping, and the authoritarian leader that has essentially made himself king. Okay? He's not just the leader of the Communist Party anymore. He is a king. And no one, and I mean no one, has dared to go against him. She says that she thinks she is not alone and is not the only one who wants to leave or withdraw from the party. She said she intended to quit the party years ago when she realized there was no more room to speak. You see, that's an issue with Xi Jinping, is not only does he not allow people within the party to speak, he controls everything. And even people inside the party are starting to feel as if they have no room for themselves. One thing I think Westerners need to understand is that even though there's only one party, there is fractions within the people. People like Hu Jintao, Xi Jinping, Deng Xiaoping, and even the man the Chinese people call Toad, is that these people fall into many different positions within the party. In the sense that some are more liberal or some are more conservative, one party doesn't necessarily mean that everyone has the same idea. For Westerners, this may be a little strange because we view our parties as completely different. So if we had two Republican parties, people would rightfully assume that they're pretty much the same. But that's not true. In the Chinese political party system, there is a left, there is a right. But lately, Xi Jinping has been everything and has controlled everything. Now with Xi Jinping essentially declaring himself king, party members have again felt silenced. And Tai says, under the regime of Xi, the Chinese Communist Party is not a force of progress for China. It is, in fact, an obstacle to China's progress. And I agree. Xi Jinping has done nothing but take China backwards. You have the hard work that people like Li Keqiang and Deng Xiaoping have put in to work towards opening China to the rest of the world. To make China seem like it's great, like it's a good country, that all of the people are wonderful and that the systems can coexist. See, our systems are very different. Communism and democracy in the West and these types of things are very different. And for the longest time, we thought that it wasn't possible to coexist. And that was changed. But it's once again moving back in reverse. Xi Jinping has started to move us back into the idea that we cannot coexist. And this is not just a problem for China. This is a problem for the world. Cai has even confirmed what many Westerners have known since the beginning, saying Xi Jinping, of course, knew on January 7th about COVID-19, but did not announce the outbreak until January 20th. Basically meaning Xi Jinping is directly to blame for the deaths of thousands and thousands of people all across the world. Keep in mind, this is a person within the party that is confirming this. Within the party. This is unprecedented. This is unseen. That a person within the party would so directly be defiant against Xi Jinping and confirm what Westerners have known all along. Cai has also been critical of the Hong Kong national security law, calling it a terrible decision. And that is fairly obvious. Many of the accusations the Western world makes are very real. Of course, Chinese state-run media, the Chinese Wu Mao, the CCP shills here on YouTube would like for you to believe that it's not true. While I can't say that all accusations of the Western media are, of course, true, a lot of them are. Of course, this does mean that the COVID-19 being on the hands of Xi Jinping, the national security laws in Hong Kong as to being an intrusion onto the original treaty signed between China, Hong Kong, and of course the British. Of course, this means the Chinese state-run media has called Cai a traitor and an extreme dissident. Of course, the party will continue to push the propaganda that it does against anyone that speaks out against it, claiming she aligned with the anti-Chinese forces in America. And they even do that to me, even a tiny person like me on the internet. And Serpent ZA and anyone else that speaks against the CCP will be called a person that is aligned with the anti-Chinese forces. Once again, the state-run media likes to act as if there's no difference between Chinese people, the media, the Chinese Communist Party. This is not true. I myself lived in China. I spoke to Chinese people every single day, and I asked Chinese people tough questions. Chinese people are not stupid. And while many have been brainwashed over the years, given the freedom to travel, to speak and think freely, Chinese people would come to the same conclusion that people all over the world have. The Chinese Communist Party is without a doubt a threat to not just Chinese people, but a threat to the world. We cannot allow them to trample on our freedom of speech, our freedom of religion, our freedoms to vote in or out our politicians. It is on you, the people of the Western world, of the entire world, to put your foot down and say, no, we will not blindly accept the Communist Party in China to rule and control the world. That they will not control India. That they will not control Taiwan. That they will not control Hong Kong. That you can't just build an island out in the middle of the ocean and expect everyone to accept it. And I'm here to say that I won't accept it. Prime in China, like, comment, subscribe, and check out my Patreon page and help support the movement. Thanks so much. I love you all.